So what's the Get Down?
Hip hop culture lifestyle show.
That's all comedy is. This is how I see it. And you to get punished for that is some fucking camp shit. Right. You can't say that. I don't even believe there's a council culture. I just people it's part of control. It's like wear a mask. Wear a mask for what? Mm-hmm. You telling me if I got this mask on, I'm not gonna get COVID? We're not saying that. Well, so why the fuck wear it? Because we said so. So it's the same thing with the cancel culture. Right. Should we? It's just them saying. Have you ever listened to Russell's Act? Oh yeah. He's talking about every motherfucker. In there. I did see that. In there, and this has been going on for years. 6'2", but everybody's laughing. Giant investor. Yeah, that's real spit. Everybody's laughing because if you can't laugh at yourself. Then what? Are you saying you're infallible? Is that what you really saying? That's why I said people. I said the Dave special was great. It was brilliant. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was brilliant because he took a bullet for a lot of us.
He was the Harriet Tubman.
The industry is the cancel culture. It's not outside.
Exactly.
You don't meet anybody who's part of cancel
exactly.
culture in real life. It's the industry fucking turning on itself.
Exactly. True. Exactly. You're not meeting like, hey man, I saw that shit. It's fuck. No. You know why it's bullshit the cancel culture? Because white people still tell nigga jokes.
Big that.
You got a white friend that can't wait to tell you, what do you cross when you get a nigger and a monkey?
He's like, two. He trying to figure out the punt.
He got a whole joke already ready to come out.
But that's, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
Who's canceled that? And how they gonna be a cancel culture where America ain't apologized to Black America for nothing? And you want us to apologize? You ain't apologized for nothing? For slavery? For the 60s? For, you know what I'm saying?
Rolling 60s.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. I'm about to go. I'm about to go. Nigga said rolling. So with everything that you're saying, everything you're saying is factual. So is it hard for you to be you as a person and a comedian?
Listen, I'm gonna be me regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
So I didn't get.
He was the loudest supporter of Bill Cosby from beginning to end.
Yes.
Never wavered on it once.
I remember that.
Yes.
And went to war for him. He told high-level white Jew industry people to go fuck themselves. Publicly.
Publicly. You think I lost some money off of that?
No.
I'm like, what do you mean he was raping bitches in 1752?
Where's Larry Flynn at? Where's Hugh Hefner? Nigga's pedophile.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Then, you know, so it's like, as a culture, we got to stick by our guns. Okay. We have to. Mm-hmm. Have to stick by our guns. That's when they get you.
When you waver.
When you waver. You know who didn't waver? Chick-fil-A. They thought they was going to cancel Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A said, bitch, we do this, and we still close Sunday, motherfucker. They did that. It's the same thing. You're like, but nobody said nothing about it was a fuck that. So, I know Grady, you know.
No, what you think, Grady?
Alpha male.
I don't give a fuck about none of them, right? Because they ain't checking for Grady no way. So who gives a shit?
They checking for you?
Not really.
They are.
But they do. This is what they do with Grady. They peek in and be like, he's not big yet. They know I have a stronghold in my audience, and they be like, we can monetize off that.
Here's the thing, Grady. This is what I learned.
I want to hear.
And I learned this at a young age. Russell told me this too one time, and he slipped it to me. It's just game.
What is it?
We all have to figure this shit out.
True.
You got to figure your shit out. Mm-hmm. Hollywood is never going to figure you out. They're going to exploit you. When you figure you out, they're going to exploit you to make money. What I mean by that is, you just said something that told them you weren't big. You're in one of the wealthiest, smartest, richest comedian house doing a podcast. Sitting next to the boss.
I ain't gonna say that.
The Bruce Springsteen of this shit.
Yeah, the Bruce Springsteen and shit. I still have the jacket.
Two shit.
Who to say you ain't big enough? You said, when I'm big enough.
When they lift up the laptop and they be like, let's look at his numbers, right?
That's the lie.
Okay. I'm listening. I'm gonna be.
Let me tell you how cold this shit is. Netflix has a TV show called Squid Games.
Real fit.
They told America it's the biggest TV show ever. I seen 6 minutes of this shit and said, bullshit! Ain't nobody watching no dubbed ass Japanese fucking bullshit movie with no karate in it. Korean. Whatever it is. Korean show with no karate. Taekwondo. Jiu-jitsu. None of that shit. But they told everybody it was the #1 show in the world. Right? They told you. They told you. So you said, let me watch it. He's not telling himself. He's the biggest motherfucker. This motherfucker, I went to go see a show, 10,000 people. Remember that show?
Of course.
Everywhere you go, there's a fucking line. Grady, Grady, Grady. Like, yo, who's this motherfucker? It's fucking Grady, salt and pepper. Drop the mic.
And I did do the bit. Everybody was like, yo, you doing the bit? And he actually, one thing about this motherfucker, he actually, one of the manager agent dude, do anonymous. So he niggas say, yeah, Grady's cool. I hear him yelling from the 8th row, you better treat him right. And I'm looking like, who the fuck is that? And I'm looking like, oh, that's Faizon. And he's telling the Jew nigga, treat him right. Never forgot that. I was like, okay. He didn't have to do that because he comes over with his Jew, how they have mullets and shit, and they sit there and they have their hands all in the pockets and they can't really dress. And, when I seen OG Cats that was there, I like Barry. Barry, good dude.
Barry Katz?
Yeah, he was like, hey, Greeny, what's happening? Bernie, Grady. What's going on, man? How are ya?
But you don't like that person, not because he's
No, he was
Jew.
cool. He was honest though.
Yeah, but not because he's a Jew, though.
Finally.
No, but he said.
He's stupid. Not because he's a Jew.
No, I said he had the Jew hands in the pocket.
Let's not say that. I'm gonna say that because if he just said,
then you just say when we comics we got to stand on.
What I'm saying is
Okay. Because he never did nothing wrong to me.
If he said Grady came in with the nigga beanie on.
It's gonna be a problem.
That's what I'm saying.
It'll be a whole problem.
That's what Grady came over with the nigga hands.
I'm like, what?
And like, you don't feel a certain way. You feel me?
All right, okay, I'll take that.
Because you're gonna need as many allies as you got enemies.
All day long. You get more bees with honey.
Not only that, but just if he a real ally, if he fucked you over.
That was 08. I ain't seen a nigga. This COVID. I ain't seen him since 08.
With him fucking, but
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't seen him since 08.
Don't make an ally out of a potential. I mean, an enemy out of a potential ally. Because you can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. So I think what happens is this: is what happens, right? When you have the Ethernet, right? And then you get cats that's.
He said that's faster. Go ahead.
Real cats. If I was a rapper, I'm a true spitter. I'm a true spitter as a comic, right?
Yes, sir.
So if I get up there and they be like, hey, you going up with him, you going up with Russell, you going up with you. When it's my turn to call, I don't give a fuck if you niggas don't win up. I gotta perform off of my thoughts. And I don't give a fuck if I sink or swim. But they gonna be like, yo, hey, dude, nice. That's it, right? So when I saw a lot of the comics, when I moved here in LA, everybody was in the cliques. I wasn't in no one clique. No nigga took me on the road. No nigga said, hey, Shove gang, hold on, I got it. I'm throwing it live, wait now. Until I'm doing the fat nigga joke. Let me get her. And I got the whole 10,000 people screaming, let me get her, do it again. Yeah, I can't really get through my own bit because they calling back my shit. Let me get her. And I hear this, this him laughing. I'm like, yo, who is that? They like, yo, that's Faizon. I'm like, that's OG? Like Big Perm, really. Nigga walk up, right? He say, yo, nigga, we finna go to Atlanta. All right, cool, nice to meet you, OG. I dip, there you go. I go do J. Anthony Brown's club. He there again. He say, nigga, where you stay at? I said, listen, man, am I lying? I backed up like, nigga, I live in the hotel. Who the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like oh yeah, I like this nigga. He just like, come on, give me the address. I say, I stay next to Popeyes. I make all the comics that drop me off because I didn't have a car. I have them drop me off at the CVS. I wait. And then when they drive off, I run across the street to the hotel. Am I lying, Faizon? Right. So when the nigga pull up with the damn, the Benz, he had a silver platinum Benz joint. And I'm sitting there like, I seen it in a rap video. I'm like, yo, he got the 600. Oh my goodness, right? iPhones just came out. I don't forget shit, right? So he say, yo, man, I'm outside. I'm like, look, OG, this is where I live. He's like, come on, nigga. I'm like, we ain't leaving today. He said, no, we leaving tomorrow. I'll be here in the morning. We going all the way to Atlanta, right? So I'm like, this nigga crazy. Birmingham was the first stop. And then we shook it to the A, right? So this one, he said, nah, nigga, I seen you at the spot. Then I seen you at the bigger spot. And I told you, like, come on, put you on the road. And I'm sitting there looking at the nigga like, nah, you bullshitting. Because first of all, I'm not gonna laugh at your jokes if they not funny. I'm gonna tell you that shit trash. I'm not gonna, if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you. But if you don't ask me, I ain't gonna say a word. I don't wanna really be talking, right? So he say, come on, nigga, get your little bag. I get the little bag, right? He outside. First of all, this ain't the Benz. He got the big Suburban joint with the XL. I'm like, whoa, this is burgundy, right? So he in the car, in the truck, and the speakers is all through. He talking, he's like, nigga, I'm outside. What? It's 9 in the morning. He's like, nigga, I'm outside. It's 9 in the morning. I said, all right, then hold on, give me, he's like, nigga, go ahead. I'm on the phone, I'm doing my business, whatever. Come out of the hotel, get in the truck, and we hightail it, right? 101 to the 10, straight all the way to the, you know what I'm saying, south, right? Midwest, to the, So next thing I know, I'm listening to the nigga talk. And he got like this little piece of steel and he keeps pressing it behind the mirror here. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? And then just start seeing consoles just open up. I'm like, yo, this nigga sell dope. This nigga got guns and he's, oh my goodness. I only got 15,000 tuck. I'm not finna be playing with this nigga, right? I'm just in there, and he on the phone with Nick Cannon's manager and everybody. I'm just like, oh my goodness. I'm like, man. So I'm texting my people like, yo, I'm finna tell him to drop me off. Just come get me in Flagstaff, Arizona. I don't give a fuck where we at, right? So he like, no, you good, right? And then we just start talking. And then what happened was his music library was huge. I said, oh shit, I got somebody I can, whoo. All right, who is that? He's like, oh, this is Natural 4. This is 1976 live in London, Marvin Gaye. This is house music. I'm like, nigga, Chicago invented house music. He'd be like, well, like, nigga, it ain't Baltimore, it ain't New York, it ain't the Roxy, it ain't Beach Street, right? No, Russ, wait.
Hold on.
Russ, wait.
It was in Chicago.
That's all I wanted.
But Frankie Knuckles brought it.
He's from the, but he's
Frankie Knuckles from Chicago, right?
He's from
No,
Chicago.
he moved to Chicago.
He moved to Chicago, but Jumping Julie Perez, Farley, I can keep going.
Frankie Knuckles brought it to Chicago, and then everybody in Chicago was split, and then they flipped it. Because Frankie was playing disco-y shit, and then he started making some house, and then the rest of the Chicago guys went, hold on, I got this.
Right? That's true.
I was friends with a DJ named Pink House.
God bless the dead.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, see, I know. See, that's why they fuck with, because they know I'm like, I got that ear, right? So we get down to we get to Flagstaff. That's the first time I seen TPs. First time ever. So I say, oh gee, what's he? He's like, yeah, nigga, them it. But he don't even look over. He just driving. I was like, oh gee, yo, that's. Wait, hey man, that's Potawatomi over there. You know, I'm just saying all these Indian reservations, and he just like, yeah, this is it. I'm like, oh shit, this is the world now, right? So we get all the way to Denton, Texas. We get to Denton, Texas. He put the bitch in park, like, let's get out. I'm like, all right, we go. I'm just watching, like, look, I'm just looking for the first angle that don't like people that look like me. I'm going straight in his mouth. It don't even matter. It don't matter. We're gonna beat the case, right? So Faizon just say the coolest shit ever. He say, you talent. Chill out. This ain't Chicago. Chill out. And I said, all right. I ain't say nothing. That was 08. Then we go in, have a meal, leave, get back in, whatever. Go to another spot. We in Memphis.
No, Mississippi?
No,
first. The strip club.
No, so let me say this. So he driving around in Memphis. We get off. We make a turn off of Beale Street.
That's all he remembers.
So I'm sitting there looking, because he couldn't tell you what I did. That's why he laughed. So we sit there. He say, "What that look like?" He just pull up to the spot, landmark, historic. Puts the truck in park. Gets out. I'm sitting there looking. I can't. I'm like, yo, I know this place.
Oh, yeah.
He say, "Come on, nigga, get out."
Oh, yeah.
I get out the truck. It's the Lorraine Motel.
You know what that is?
My fist ball up.
Stay off the balcony.
Yeah, word.
It don't matter.
Hey, yo. That's a comment.
That's how you end up looking at this.
Yo. So when I say to you, brother, I get out the truck. They got the damn Cadillac with the 3-foot cement, right, enclosed.
Dig that.
This is the Abernathy car. He already know. He's like, oh, Grady, one of them. He said, what's that? I said, that's Abernathy car, man. I said, this, I know. And I look right across the street. I got tears coming down now. Faizon don't say nothing. He just look at me for about 3 minutes. He just standing there. He just like, He said, I knew you was one of them ones. He said, I knew you was one of them ones. I knew you was one of them ones. I knew it. I knew that's what he was, right? So I'm sitting there like, I'm wiping my tears. So I'm sitting there, I got tears in my eyes, right? So they coming down, so I'm sitting there like,
Old man, it don't say nothing.
so Faizon is standing there, he got his hand, like he got his fist balled up on his waist, and he's doing like this, like, yeah, I knew you was one of them ones. And I'm like, man, they ain't have to do him like that, man. They had to do him like that, right? So I'm looking across, and I said, that's the side with such and such. Jesse Jackson was here, I'm going, I was like, where's the CIA? He let me run. He just let me run. And he was like, all right, let's go. So I said, man, can I? The lady comes out and she's like, oh my goodness, Faizon Love this big perm. He's like, hey, what's up, mama? He take a picture. But he's like, hold on, we having a moment. So he got all the black people that worked there that's, turning it, just turn into a museum, but they already did already. Right. But everybody was just watching me and him. And all he do was this, put his hand on my shoulders like, go ahead and feel that. And I just walk. And the lady, I said, can I just touch the car? I don't want to get in, I want to open the door, none of that. That Cadillac was beautiful. So I'm sitting there looking, the tears is rolling. And I'm like, man, they have to do him like that. They have to do him like that. So Faizon, like, all right, that's enough. But without saying that's enough, he just gave me the, you ready? Let's go. Get me in the car. We get to motherfucking Passions, huh?
That's how you was dancing?
What? the girls.
Yeah, I see, but that
We in passes, right? So the bras is in there. I'm like, how we go from here and we in here with this, Jezebel jizz in here, right? We all in here. The bras say, she say, hey, we probably like, yeah. So they grab a couple, right? So the chick say, I want him. I'm cool feet out. You know, I got everything on me. So they trying to look, you know, Memphis niggas, they don't know nothing about culture, a little bit like that. So I'm speaking, trying to talk Arabic to the brother. I'm like, oh, you shukran. They like, huh? What? Shukran? You ain't strawberry? I'm like, don't worry about it, nigga. So I'm just telling the nigga, thank you, right? You know what I'm doing. So Faizon say, hey, it's yours. I was like, oh, okay. 10 minutes later, the girl she done straddled Grady, so I'm looking up at her. Some say, just look at your pants, at your britches. I said, okay. These look soiled. I'm kind of moved to scuzzy mode, right? Go over to Faye like, hey, Faye, the bras say it's $1.50. She just straddled me. So Faizon, he lift the bra up. Come here. Come here. They playing all type of, they playing Shawty Low in the club and everything. So Faizon like, come here, come here. Like he do the, when he told, come here.
Yeah.
What let me I need a couple dub sacks.
Yeah.
When he told 20s around the corner, right?
Yeah.
So the girl's like, well, he whatever. He trying to get it. So I'm like, I ain't touch you. He said, my man say he ain't touch you. He ain't touch you. So I'm like, oh yes, we get to fight. Yes, let's go, Faye. So Faye like chill, but I'm not speaking. Mm-hmm. You know when you ready.
Yeah.
You ready.
Yeah.
And you know, it's time to go.
Yeah.
So Faizon just like, yo, chill out, G. I got it. So the club owner come out, the manager, he's like, oh man, that's on the house, right? But the girl is mad at me and mad at him because all she did was just straddle me. I ain't let her get into the full stripper mode. She just do this and I say, look at the britches. Watch out, baby, get up right quick. I said, Faye, old girl. Cause I ain't the strip club dude. I don't have etiquette. I'm like, look, you know you don't want to do this. So I'm sitting there like, Faye, am I supposed to? He's like, nigga, I told you gonna get busy. I'm like, no, G, that ain't what I do, man. I really just want to work. That's really what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I just want to work. I ain't here to play. I'm not here for none of that. I got 3 different baby mamas. What she's giving me, I already got it already. So that's nothing, right? Only thing better than some regular is some new. The regular cooch, nothing better than that is some new. Okay, that's it, right? So I said, oh, I just want to work. So they said, all right. So the club say, man, we're going to get y'all drunk. We're going to get you food. I'm like, all right, we're going to eat, whatever. So they basically took it on the arm because it was him. Mm-hmm. Then we go to fucking Atlanta. Pulls up. I'm seeing the big old gate open up. He talking to the nigga. Hey, come on, boy. I don't miss nothing. I say, wait a minute. I heard that boy before. It's Big Boy crib. Go up to, all the way up there. Man, when I tell you, dog. So Big, him and Faye, they just got through doing Who's Your Caddy and all that. So everybody rolling around. It's just him. Me and OG. So he like, man, he looking at he got the grinders. I ain't never seen a reefer grinder and all. I'm like, oh, that's different. Right, he got all type of toys for the marijuana, right? So I said, all right, let me go over here to the seat. Dude said, hey, come here, man. Come here, young one. You ready? I'm like, nah, I don't smoke. He just like, what? You don't smoke? All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and get him ready, right? He pull up this cylinder, come back. Faizon say he'll be asleep. He said, hey man, we're gonna be over here. So Big Boy is passing me blunts, but I'm thinking it's the same blunt. He done passed me 8 blunts down there. He done already had them roll, but he was like, here you go. But it's about 8 blunts. When I tell you, this one I know I could go anywhere with this dude. I was in the fetal position, right? Like sleep, snoring. Do you hear me? I'm high as, I'm higher than Pluto, nigga. So when I tell you, Big Boy come over, he's like, man, let's get him some coffee. Get him up. Faizon don't say nothing. He say, hey, come on, it's my man. He said, this with you? He said, yeah. I said, come on. I get a call, First Amendment say, we want you, First Amendment, we need you in DC. I'm like, well, I'm on the road with Faizon. I get back, I say, what do I tell him? He's like, you never did TV before? I'm like, he fucking with me. But I don't know about TV. I'm like, come on, man, don't do that, OG. It's TV. So he like, all right, and chill. Just tell him I'll get you there in 2 days. They be like, well, we want you there Monday. I was like, frick. Nigga flew me first class. Delta, never forgot it. I said, OG, they want me to do First Amendment. He was like, oh, you gonna murder that. He said, listen, this is how you pay me. This is how you pay me back. I don't want nobody to say Grady bomb. That's what he said. Took me to the airport. Got me around his family, cousins, all that. Did you see on Atlanta Housewives? That's the neighbor off Spruce Street, Alpharetta, you know, the ritzy part of the A. You know, all them people was there for him. I mean, you know, he took us around as we left Big Boy crib. And then he put me on the first class flight. I sat in seat 2 and I had a window.
He said, see?
The lady come through with the little coupons, whatever, and she said, what do you want to drink? I'm like, I don't gotta move to the back. She like, no. She said, you never been in first class? I said, no, ma'am. I don't trust this, honestly. I think I think they punking me, right? I'm thinking Faizon playing the trick, like, all right, nigga, go on in the back. You ain't getting first class, right? The lady, I had just the regular rotisserie chicken with the Brussels sprouts, and I went to culinary school, so I already knew,
Yes, sir.
right? So I already knew etiquette, right? So they were just kind of like, oh. So you entertained? I was like, I'm trying to be. That's all I said. And the lady was like, okay, cool. And I took it from the A, and I went straight to DC and got busy. So when I got off the plane, my auntie and them told my uncle, like, I'm about to drive to the house over there in Bowie, Maryland, stayed with them, and released hell on stage. So when I got to the Lincoln Theater, that's when I called Faye. I'm like, I don't know about the contract. Shane, salute this comedian Shane, taught me how to read the contract, right? And it was just really just signatures. That was all it is. It's just, we want to use your, and I learned that word, perpetuity. That means forever. So I said, oh, Faizon, what's that? He like, nigga, read the contract. Call me back. But he was doing so much, I couldn't get mad at OG. I'm like, OG, they using these words, whatever. You know, what's that? He was like, all right, nigga, just whatever don't look to me, don't sign it. He said, who that? I said, Shane. He said, you good. That's exactly what he said. I'm gonna call you back. Hung up. Shane, let me see it. They said, what you know, he was like, the wardrobe people come over and they say, what's this Marine jacket? I'm saying, you mean the Lance Corporal jacket? This is a 1969. So this, I ain't bullshitting. This is my uncle's. This jacket is about $1,800. I will be wearing this in DC, and I'm not simplified. I don't give a fuck about a hoorah or a who not. I'm not with none of that shit. My uncle wore this, so I'm wearing it on First Amendment, right? Doug Williams, he not dissing me, but he not being welcome to the new nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Doug don't really have a good history.
I'm about to jump through that. Cause he talking grappling and shit, so I don't know nothing about grappling. I just like, you can't beat the Gracies, and I'm just playing with him. I don't know he's serious, man. I didn't know he was serious. So he was like, all right, man. He was like, so Martin, they saw your audition tape, they liked it, whatever. He said, I don't see why.
Oh, damn.
I said, no problem. I go out, it's 12, all I hear is this nigga. For him, I don't know what you paid for that motherfucking first class flight, but when he said, do not bomb on TV, he said, this ain't a theater, this ain't a comedy club, but you on TV, make it count. Man, I went out there,
Warm them out.
I had, it wasn't even warm out. I just controlled the 1,500 folks. I understood I control a room by being silent, right? Because I was hungry, man. This man seen me eating ramen noodles and Snickers and Popeye chicken burritos. He was all this, he for real. And I'm like, I will whoop all you niggas, right? When I moved here, I'm just saying that was just the energy with the mom. Right? Remember the burrito? He's like, come on, nigga, let's go get sushi. I was like, I'm not eating sushi. I went to school for this shit. I'm not eating this shit. We're gonna catch E. coli from this shit, man. I'm just saying anything so we wanted to get it, right? So Faye was just like, no, you know, just don't bomb on TV. And when I tell you, we go do the show. I go do the show. I go out.
My candy, man.
The people were just, no bullshit, the people were just sitting there looking like, who is this dude? And then that was my moment to just change what they was looking at because I wasn't military. You know what I mean? You can't wear a Lance Corporal jacket or Marine dress jacket.
No, that's real.
And you didn't go through basic training.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know, right? And I had dog tags on and everything. And I got so riled up with energy, I just rode it. I just remember him saying, when you feel that pocket, stay there. I don't know what he was talking about. You know, we just ride.
Yeah.
But he just talking comedy shit. Because first of all, I'm just saying, you know, as a comic, only had 5 minutes. I'm talking about to come to LA.
No, I can do
We drive through Phoenix, New Mexico, and he said, you know what, a lot of cats that come here, they stay about a month to 6 months. It's 100,000 people migrate to LA every month, right? Yeah. When the comics come here, they don't even come here seasoned, polished. He said they come here to grow. This is where you go to do stand-up. You was in New York, right? I said, yeah, I was in there for a whole year, OG. That's how I got here. Boom. Yeah. That's the Mecca. This is TV. So when you move to Hollywood, come ready, come seasoned. They ain't got to do, they just trying to figure out what to do with you. And this is before social media, right? So you can understand what his tough teaching was like. All right, don't call me. Once they call me and be like, oh, you rockin' with Grady? Or they might say, hey, man, you know this dude named Grady? You're like, yeah, I know him. If they be like, man, this dude ain't funny. Nah, let's on. Then another dude called me. He said, if 3 people call me saying you're not funny, I'm gonna believe them. You know what pressure that was, man?
That's real.
That was what, because I didn't ask him, who did you help? You know what I mean? Because I'm sitting there thinking, like, as an OG, I don't know his story. I don't know who he rock with. And he was like, man, me and Chris was like this. Chris Tucker and him was like, I don't forget shit. So he's like, man, me and Chris Tucker like this. And then me and this person and Robert Townsend, Chicago native, when I did Parenthood. He said, nigga, I went from getting maybe 5,000 from a comedy show to do Def Jam. I don't know what it was, but let's just say 5,000 for a comedy show to getting 30 a week on Parenthood, right? So I'm like, oh my, that's a lot of bread in 08, right? Gas was still $1. Right, but I'm just saying when you broke the game down. So all I had was energy. That's all. I just had a chip on my shoulder. I said, I don't fit with these guys because the OGs, the ones I saw, were interested in minions. They weren't interested in cats. It was like, if you give me the door, let me just get in the room. If that's what it's gonna be.
Real spit.
But then if it's a situation where it's like, let's help cultivate it. I even asked him like, look, man, when I do my special, OG, you wanna direct my comedy special? Oh, yeah. He didn't say a word, he just was listening. He said, what you got? I said, well, I got this, I'm gonna try it this way, blah, blah, blah. My dad, I went to culinary school. He was like, all right, hush. And just sat on the phone for like 2 minutes. Just quiet. He was like, all right, hush, hold on. That nigga didn't say nothing. Cause I'm learning. First of all, I'm not too big where I can't listen. I'm coachable. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen Michael Jordan be coached by Phil Jackson, and Phil Jackson ain't a better athlete than Michael Jordan. But if he say, Michael, get it, and then he might get the rock and, Scotty, pick up. Hey, whoever's on the bench.
That's a good point.
To be coachable, dog. That was all I wanted to be. So if one of the OGs to say, hey man, you ready? Ready for what? You ready? I didn't want to ask him for what. We finna get out? Comedy, because that was all it was. I wasn't talking social media. Right. I wasn't talking YouTube. He was saying, you ready? We go do a show in Mississippi. We go do a show in Birmingham. Let me tell you how he taught me how to play around in the room. The Final Four had just hit Birmingham. Yep. Final Four had just hit Birmingham. My dumb ass, somebody called my room trying to get next to this nigga. I'm like, Faye, what you doing, OG? He's like, they can watch your TV. What's up? I'm like, look, old dude trying to get up with you. He's like, he just laughed. He said, listen, this room ain't registered to me. It is, but it ain't. We have what we call aliases. I said, say no more. He could have put me on a plane and put me back to LA.
That's right.
So I had the tough learning of knowing how to curve the energy. Right? Then that night, we go to the spot in Birmingham. The promoter dropped his Faizon, jumped out of that goddamn truck. We in fucking Birmingham in the hood, nigga. It's just me and him, so I'm sitting there thinking, like, he just keep pressing this little metal piece in his finger, but I'm paying attention. I'm trying to just, like, why he keep going in the console? And he keep doing this behind the mirror, so the consoles is opening up. I'm like, why he got all these guns in here? That's all I'm thinking. Like, oh my goodness, Faizon got guns in here, right? But whatever it was, the promoter dropped his energy. He didn't do his job.
Right, I can dig it.
Faizon jumped out that goddamn truck, had on that motherfucking red Adidas jumpsuit, and was like, what's with it? Right out. Yes, I'm looking to fight, just get it out the way, right? We gonna make it out alive, right? Whatever, right? The dude, Faizon, what's that? So he like, what's with it? What's to it? Blase, this, that, and other. And then the other guy, that was the owner, he was like, no, Faye, it ain't like that. But dude didn't do his work. So Faizon said, well, fuck it. Y'all already paid me. Y'all didn't do y'all job. Guess what we about to do? Me and him about to go. We did not perform that night.
No, they had some.
Then we go to Mississippi, and we performed in Mississippi. He said, go be you. I said, OG, how you want me to perform? Because a lot of headliners want you to, don't do too much. Just do a little bit. I want them to be about me because you regular. That nigga was like, nigga, I want to go out and have a good show. He didn't say, I want to go out and work. He said, I want to have a good show. Because if I have you open for me and you don't carry it, then I got to fight behind your bullshit. And he was just sitting there, it's kind of like this. This is the green room. That nigga was just sitting there like, hey, all right, boy, go do your shit now. I don't want no. And I was just like, you sure I can play? He's like, hey, all right, nigga. He just talking to motherfuckers. So look, right, we looking at Derek Jeter, he talking other shit. I'm like, okay. He's too comfortable. But I think you read that I was serious.
Oh yeah.
I was dead serious. I just did not want to bomb. I didn't want to make a mistake. I just didn't I didn't have a big head. Ooh.
Nah, that's dope.
I didn't have a big head. So that whole story was I was already here with energy. I had a chip on the shoulder.
Word.
So Faye was like, try it this way. Keep all that. But know when to exert that energy. Because he was like, nigga, you tired? I'm like, I'm tired. He's like, exactly. Because you want to fight and get it on with anyone. Because I didn't know, right? I was like, I think they lying, man. I can't go to nobody's party. I can't go to nobody's party.
You ready to fight?
I was ready to get busy. Whoever didn't, because I think at that time, late 30s, I was just like, look, man, I got 3 kids, 3 sons. My dad didn't pass yet. I didn't know what the world was going to be looking like. I didn't know, right? He was going back and forth from South Africa, and he was everywhere. So I didn't have OG to be like, yo, OG, what's this? You know what I'm saying? What this mean? So I was going through it like, what do I do? What do you usually go to? You go to what's your normal. I was like, all right, well, win, lose, or draw. We gonna tear this place up, me and you, right? And then Faye was just like, great. All them niggas over this week. She said, look, you can fight about 2 or 3 of them. 20. What you think? You're gonna get tired, ain't you? Now you're gonna be known as the dude that's looking to fight. And then I go see the talent, then I go see the gift. He said, chill. Show it on stage. If you're gonna show the aggression, be aggressive on stage. Get it to where motherfuckers like, oh, Grady going up? Oh shit. You want that energy. Well, let me go before Grady go up. And LA don't play how Chicago play. If LA, they just be like, oh, Ooze here? All hey man, come back next week. It ain't like the road. The road of a comic is if he come in town, they just say, hey, he bumped you. In LA, they just be like, come back next week. You're not getting on the stage tonight. So I know you told your cousins, but they love you. Tell them come back. And this was 08, right? And so he was like, find you a club that's home. And it was a J Spot. He said, make everybody come to see you at the J Spot. So when I got to the J Spot, I made it my home. Friday night, 10:30. So the big Les of the world, Rashid, all the people that fucking love him. And they were just like, who fuck with you? And I'm like, Faizon. It's the only motherfucker I had. You know what I'm saying? And Carlton, which was he was one of the talent execs for Stars Network. That's who put me on TV when I got to LA. Once I got here, I got on TV very quick, right? But I think it was time because only TV only doing 4 minutes. If cats understand stand up on Leno, Letterman, Jimmy Kimmel, you're only doing 4 minutes. That's it. You're only doing a 4-minute set because the show is an hour, right? You know what I'm saying? And so he's like, all right, nigga, you doing 15, 20, kill him in 5 and get off. That nigga said that. Faizon was like, all right, kill him in 5 and get off. If you get him in 4, get off. And so I think that was him putting his hands on, because I think everybody they was scared of him. And then you see it, he's like, yo, let's go to the party. They go Will Ferrell, they go John Favreau. They going crazy over Faizon. I'm like, hell no. And they shaking my hand because they love him. And then when they talking and you hear Nick Cannon's manager on the phone in the truck, and I'm just soaking it all up like, all right, he's different.
I'm on that brainwash, full rollout, anonymous. Underplay to overplay, strategic, I promise. More dope brings more Negroes. Watch them heroes, pro lethal. Dream killers feast on people. Nubius in need, mine on the hunt. Paul Bear, sharp fluid, gates and piston bumps. No excuses, that's a sin. Back to the begin. Muscle memory, pseudo respect and revenge. Plays blindfolded, a bucket list with interest. Forgiveness, the shadows and mirrors who handle business. Legacy, all grind, no guest list. Land in jurisdiction, make you bread prejudice. For the purists and the tourists, Q sticky for ghetto jurors. Swing high, swing low, you forgot that we do this. Bank selection, smooth DR vibe. Underground icon, you have now been gentrified.